Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, back on the topic of the NFL today. Today, Jay and I are looking at Arizona Cardinals and going to be predicting their record for the 2021 season. We did this video with the Titans, the Browns, the Chargers. So, of course, now the Cardinals looking at their record in 2021. But before we get into the video, question of the day, obviously on the topic of the Cardinals record, but the question is, do you think the Cardinals will make the playoffs in 2021? Comment below. Obviously, the NFC West, probably the best division in football, and the NFC in general is just super competitive. So do you think the Cardinals will make the playoffs? Comment below. And at the end of the video, after we predict their records, Jay and I will give you our prediction of whether or not they make the playoffs. But Jay, of course, this Cardinals team, you get J.J. Watt, you get A.J. Green, young quarterback in Kyler Murray, pretty good defense, best receiver in the league. I think this Cardinals team has potential. So let's look at their record, starting with the L.A. Rams in Arizona. Who you got?
I think this is the toughest division in football, and the Cardinals, if they could just, get a couple wins in this division, it's almost somewhat of an accomplishment. But at home, I do think they will split with the Los Angeles Rams. I don't think it'll be easy, but the Rams this year, losing Troy Hill, losing John Johnson, losing the defensive coordinator, I think there's going to be a couple holes on that defense. I think the offense will make up for it, and the Rams will be a fantastic team, but I think the defense will not let their guard down enough, but have lost just a little bit enough for Arizona to split with them. And I think I'm a big fan of them signing A.J. Green. I think he'll be a big piece of this offense. We do have to see how Chase Edmonds will be filling the running back position to Kenyon Drake, but overall, I got them splitting with the Rams and taking the one at home.
I think that, yes, it's all true. The Rams lost a few key guys, including their defensive coordinator, to the Chargers. But I think the Rams take this one in Arizona. To start off, I think that the Cardinals really, the defense of the Rams, I think, can outmatch the Cardinals face-to-face. I think the Cardinals, yes, A.J. Green is a big addition. I think, I like D-Hop a lot, but I think that the Rams receiving depth, and of course Matthew Stafford is going to start off hot, I think. So I got the Rams taking this one. Next, we got the Niners in Arizona.
Same thing. I got them going to probably end up splitting with them in home. I like Arizona. Even the Super Bowl year, Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners went to the Super Bowl. The Cardinals are one of the toughest teams to deal with because of the mobility by Kyler Murray. Now, the Niners still beat them, but rookie Kyler Murray gave them a problem, and I think year 3, Kyler Murray is going to give them a problem again. I think they split the series and take a win at home from the Niners.
So, yeah, I had the previous game. I had the Cardinals falling to the Rams. I think the Cardinals still play a close game there. Carries over into this San Francisco game. I think the Cardinals take a win here. I think that the 49ers will be rolling with a drafted quarterback. I think that, obviously, they'll be, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. It'll be a young guy in there. And I think the Cardinals defense with Chandler Jones, Budda Baker, Isaiah Simmons, list goes on. I like their defense. I think they'll be able to take advantage of a young quarterback, and I think Kyler has a big game here connecting with D-Hop for some big plays. So I got the Cardinals taking the first matchup against the San Francisco 49ers and getting their first divisional win. Next, we got the Seahawks in Arizona.
Same thing again. I have them basically splitting the division. We saw the Cardinals split with the Seahawks last year. They needed a little bit of luck. Of course, Russell Wilson had 3 picks. But overall, this is a much better Cardinals team, and the Seahawks, they're right around the same. Yeah, they added Gerald Everett. They fixed the offense a bit. But overall, I think the Cardinals definitely took a step forward, and I just think the Seahawks are right about the same. For them to split last year, I don't think it's too big of a deal for them to split this year. I got the Cardinals taking it at home.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. I think the Cardinals take this one at home over Seattle. Seattle, I think, is going to see a decline in production. Russell Wilson and the franchise not on good terms. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll not on good terms. Seattle defense not looking too hot. They give up a lot for Jamal Adams, who to this point has not proven that he was worth it. I think he's still one of the better safeties in the league. But besides the point, I think that the Arizona offense and defense, just all around, Arizona's a better team than Seattle. I think that they take this game and take the win over the Seahawks. Next, we got the Packers in Arizona.
This one, I think the Cardinals will take a loss, but I would not be surprised if they come out a win. Kyler Murray, I don't think the Packers have really faced a quarterback like Kyler Murray very often. Being in the NFC, the most mobile quarterback they face is Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers seems to have a problem with Russell Wilson a good amount in the playoffs, but Kyler Murray is just too young to go out and pass Aaron Rodgers right now. I'm excited to see the DeAndre Hopkins against Jair Alexander matchup, but overall, Devontae Adams is going to cook Malcolm Butler, and I just think the Packers are going to get a win. It'll be a good game, but Packers are going to go through the air on this one.
Yeah, I like the Packers in this one too. I think the Packers will take this game from the Cardinals. I think it'll be a well-played game. I think like Jay said, the Cardinals will hold their own, but I expect Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to have their connection like they did last year. I think this Packers team is a 14-win, 13-win at least team in the regular season, so I'm going to go with the Packers. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings in Arizona.
This right here, I think, could be the battle that determines who gets that final 7th seed in the NFC. I like the Vikings a lot this year. They weren't great at all last year, but they had a lot of injuries on defense. and they just weren't the best. Justin Jefferson, we saw how good he was as a rookie. He's going to be even better as a sophomore. They got Adam Thielen. Dalvin Cook's going to be a top 3 running back still, and we don't know. Are the Cardinals going to be able to run with Dalvin Cook? I don't think so. I like Chase Edmonds, and I think he'll fill Kenyon Drake's role fine, but even Kenyon Drake, if you had him, he's not stepping up with Dalvin Cook. So I think the top 3 running back, a Kirk Cousins, if this is just a 1 o'clock game, not a primetime game, and a very good defense that kind of stole your top corner, Patrick Peterson. I do have the Vikings winning this game, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think the Vikings take this one also. I think it's going to be high scoring. Again, going to be a shootout. You got Dalvin Cook on one side of the ball that runs the ball really well. You got 2 great receivers in Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, and the other side of the ball with the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, D-Hop, and the list goes on. Yes, we've been over this. I think that this is going to be a shootout, but I think kind of against his typical characteristic, I think Kirk Cousins goes in and wins a shootout and puts up 40-something, or not 40 points, but I don't know. High-scoring game, I got the Vikings, and I think that's going to play out into the playoff picture because I think the Vikings are going to be in that as well. Next, we got the Texans in Arizona.
Not much to say. We say this about every video. It really depends on Deshaun, but it does not look like he's staying in Houston. Even if he is, he does not look like he's going to suit up. And without them, they're pretty much nothing. They went 4-12 with them. I think the Cardinals will definitely get a dominant win over the Texans. Not much to say.
Yeah, I think that D-Hop and J.J. Watt make their first not return to Houston, as this game's in Arizona, but their first rematch against their former team. Not that there's any bitterness between J.J. and the Texans, but D-Hop definitely has some tough feelings for the Texans. I think that the Cardinals take this one easily. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts at home in Arizona.
A lot of you who watch probably know I'm very bullish on the Colts, and I'm going to stand by that. I like Carson Wentz reuniting with Frank Wright, and I have a lot of faith in this team. I love their backfield, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines. Their receiving core could use some work, but they still got pieces. Michael Pittman will take a step forward. T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle, I think they're really going to be a problem for this, I don't want to say weak secondary, but losing your number 1 quarter in Patrick Peterson. I just like the Colts all around. Top 5 defense going against the Cardinals in an offense that I think is going to click again. I like Carson Wentz and the Colts to take this win.
Contrary to his belief, I don't like the Colts going in this year. I think they're going to be just above 500 team, if not 500, which makes it easier for me to say that the Cardinals will take this game, I believe. I think it'll be a 7-10 point win. I think Carson Wentz struggles a little bit. A turnover or 2 that's big enough to give the Cardinals this game, and I think Kyler plays good football that he has up to this point. I think the Cardinals take this game over the Indianapolis Colts. Next, we got the Panthers at home in Arizona.
As of the Panthers right now, I definitely think the Cardinals outmatch them. The Panthers' only lifeline is Christian McCaffrey right now, but if they go for Deshaun Watson, that could change, or if they draft a Justin Fields, and now you got 2 mobile quarterbacks running it out, it will be interesting, but just having so many question marks, even if they end up with Justin Fields, who's a good prospect, all around the Cardinals have a more well-rounded and built-out team. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals here.
Yeah, exactly. You said it well. Aside from a possible trade or obviously the possibility they draft a good quarterback, I think the Panthers are not in a great spot right now. I like Teddy Bridgewater, but as a starter, he's not fantastic. I got the Cardinals taking this one over the Panthers fairly easily. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the Lions last year that the Cardinals dropped a game to.
It was.
So I don't know. That just came to my head right now. The Cardinals are capable of dropping games to weaker teams, but I think this game might be one of those possibilities that it's close late in the game, but I got the Cardinals taking this one. Next, we got the Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago.
This won't be a fun defense. I've said it several times. I love this Bears defense led by Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, old man Danny Trevathan's in there, but they lost their defensive coordinator, Chuck Pagano, and I'm just not going to I can't swallow the pill of Andy Dalton being your quarterback of the future. Every time I look at the defense, I still worry about the quarterback matchup. And Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, I'm definitely taking over Andy Dalton.
Yeah, this Bears defense is stout and certainly good enough. One of the better defenses in the league. But that works when your offense is pretty solid. Not to say Andy Dalton's not solid, but last year in Dallas, he showed he was not good. So if he plays like that this year, which I expect him to play not much better than, I think the Cardinals got this game all the way. If Andy Dalton comes out and throws for 2 or 3 touchdowns, that could change. But I don't like Andy Dalton in Chicago as the starter, so I'm going to go Cardinals all the way here in this matchup. Next, we got the Cowboys in Texas.
This will definitely be an offensive-powered game, but just looking at the matchups, I think Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott, whoever you want, you can't go wrong. They're neck and neck in tiers. Receiving core, I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green over Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. That's a close comparison, but I like the Cardinals. Run game, I guess I'd have to go with Zeke, even though I don't like him, but defense is going to be the biggest factor, and I like the Cardinals' defense, and I don't like the Cowboys. I'm rolling with the Cardinals here.
Yeah, this could end up being like a Cowboys-Browns matchup we saw last year where there was like 80 combined points, or 90 plus combined points, whatever. Cowboys eventually did not win the game. The Browns did. I think this will be a similar layout in this game, with the Cardinals coming out on top of a very high-scoring game. Yes, the Cardinals' defense is better, far better than the Cowboys, but their offenses are similarly powered, so I think it'll be an offensive game that the Cardinals come out on top of. Next, we got the Detroit Lions in Detroit.
Former division rival Jared Goff is going to be playing the Arizona Cardinals, and I think he is going to lose. I like the Cardinals all around. Lions don't have much hope. If they go out and get a Kyle Pitts, that could change this offense and take it to the next level. But even that is not going to save them against a J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Isaiah Simmons, Jordan Hicks, Budda Baker, Malcolm Butler. I like the Cardinals a lot against this game. I don't like the Lions at all this season.
Yep, Cardinals all the way. They got a lot more tools. They got a very well-rounded team, and the Lions simply do not. So I got the Cardinals in this one. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Huge fan of Trevor Lawrence, but he's not going to be able to take down and play defense against Kyler Murray. He just can't do it all. I hope the best for him, but him having a new coach and Urban Meyer, the Jags just have a lot to overcome, and the Cardinals are finally taking a step forward, becoming a playoff team. Cardinals dominant game.
Yep, I'm hopeful for the Jags and Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, but they're not going to take this game over the Cardinals. The Cardinals will be entering hopefully their late season form if the schedule is accurate on time, and I just think the Cardinals will be playing good football, and the Jags shouldn't be a problem for them. Next, we got the Rams, second matchup with the Rams, now at SoFi in LA.
Now that the Cardinals have to go away against their division games, I have them losing to the LA Rams. I like Matt Stafford. I think that offense is going to be very atrocious to the entire NFL. Atrocious probably means bad. Atrocious to NFL defenses. But
threatening, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals, I think it'll be a fun game. It'll be good to watch. All the division games in this NFC West is going to be great, but I have the Rams splitting with them, and this is their turn to win.
I think the Rams sweep the Cardinals this year. The Rams are going to be, I think, the second best team in the NFC outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rams are going to be a powerhouse. Matthew Stafford, as the season proceeds or progresses, he's only going to get better, clicking with that team more, and I just like a lot about the Rams team. So I'm going Rams over the Cardinals here to sweep them, or complete the sweep. Next, we got the second matchup with the 49ers this time in San Fran.
I am kind of curious about this, how I said about Panthers that they drafted Justin Fields. If the Niners team got a super mobile quarterback, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, how that would pan out in a Kyle Shanahan and Niners offense. And I do have the Niners winning this game, but I'm not even betting on that's going to be the quarterback. Even Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, can handle the Cardinals at home in San Francisco.
Yep, I got the Niners taking this one. I had the Niners losing the first one, Cardinals taking the first one. Now I got them splitting, so this is the one I have the Niners taking. Jay nailed it perfectly. I think even with Jimmy G, they're bound to split, and with a young quarterback, this will be a later in the season game, so I think that they'll have enough time to work into that offense. So I got the Niners taking this one. Next, we got the second matchup with the Seahawks, this time in Seattle.
Kyler Murray and D-Hop took the first match, but Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf are taking the second one at home in Seattle.
I think that the Cardinals will come very close to sweeping Seattle. It'll be a very, very tight game. We saw overtime last year with them in one of the matchups. I think this will be possibly the same thing. But Seattle comes out on top to avoid the sweep. I think Seattle and Arizona will split. So this is the game I have Seattle taking. I think Russell Wilson comes up clutch at the end of the game like we all know he can. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans in Nashville.
I do have the Cardinals holding down Derrick Henry and the Titans. Not to say Derrick Henry won't get his 150-yard game, but I do think it's going to come down to throwing through the air to win it, and I like Kyler Murray over Ryan Tannehill, especially with the Titans losing Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, and their offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. I feel like they've gotten worse, in my opinion, and the Cardinals have only gotten better going with Arizona.
Yeah, the Titans have lost a few key players and a few key players and a key coordinator. I think that the Cardinals take this game. Sorry, the Titans have lost a few key players and a coordinator, and I think the Cardinals will take the game. Like Jay said, I'm not saying Derrick Henry is going to get shut down to 48 yards like he did against the Ravens this past year. We've seen it's possible. But I think the Cardinals win it through the air, which they have the more potential by far over the Titans. So I think the Cardinals take this game over Tennessee. And lastly, the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland.
Cleveland is going to beat Arizona. This is a weird matchup, that's for sure. Baker's very pocket present. Yeah, he has play
this
action.
is our 17th game edition.
Yeah, but Kyler completely out of the pocket. Great run game. But I like the Browns. I think they have a top 5 roster in the NFL from front to back. Just like the Browns all around, and I think they will beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, Browns outmatched the Cardinals in most aspects of the game. Maybe not quarterback, and I guess not at number one receiver. But overall, Browns are the better team, better defense, better backfield. I got the Browns taking this one, which leaves me with a final 10-7 record. Jay, what you got?
10-7 as well.
So I think that's a good bet for him. 10-7, or maybe 11 wins, maybe 9. We saw him start out 6-1 or 2 last year and ended up 8-8. So they could have a great start and a bad finish, or they could be consistent. But whatever. Do you think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
Gut feeling says yes. It is weird though. Dolphins 10-6 last year. They missed. Bears 8-8 in the NFC. They made it.
Yep.
But gut feeling, I do think the Cardinals slip in at the last spot in the NFL playoffs. 7
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's very possible. We talked about this just a minute ago. We think that last spot's going to come down to Arizona versus Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to give that spot to Minnesota. I think their receiving core is very good, and I think it's Kirk Cousins' time to finally prove something. But at the same time, it is Kyler's moment for that as well. So this will be tight, but I think if I had to bet money, I'm going to go Minnesota Vikings take their spot, and the Cardinals barely miss. I think that's unfortunately the way I think it's going to happen. But that's all for the video. Remember to comment below if you agree with our take or not. And again, that's all for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.